go to him. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anthony Michael Montemeyer, file numbers 23-21632FC, 24-21744FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Montemeyer, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. I have in my hand a copy of a plea agreement that has been signed by Mr. Montemeyer, Mr. Malaro, and Mr. McCready, who I just put in a breakout room. So I'm going to close that breakout room. Okay, I'm sorry, I needed Mr. McCready. So Mr. McCready, I have a plea agreement form on Anthony Montemeyer.
Correct.
Okay, so the plea agreement, as I have, is that the defendant will plead guilty in file number 23-21632FC to count 1, child sexually abusive activities. Let me get that file. Which carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison and or $100,000 fine. And then he will plead guilty. Oh, wait, and count 5. Wait, and count 32 FC, count 1, child sexually abusive activity, and count 5, which is criminal sexual conduct first degree, which carries a maximum penalty of up to life in prison. But I'll get to that part next, which could carry a maximum penalty of up to life in prison. And then on file number 24-1744FH, he will plead guilty to count 1, aggravated child sexually abusive activity, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 25 years in prison and or $125,000 fine. All other counts and his supplements would be dismissed. There is a Killebrew agreement between the prosecutor's office and the defendant that his sentence would be a concurrent sentence of 140 months to 300 months, which is 12 years to 25 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. All remaining counts and subs would be dismissed. Conviction of this crime will result in defendant being required to register under the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act for life, and also will require him to be sentenced to lifetime electronic monitoring. And is that a correct recitation of the plea, Mr. McCready?
The plea form that we signed did indicate that it expired on January 15th, because that was supposed to be our final pretrial. That was adjourned until today, and so I have left the offer open just for clarification. And yes, otherwise that is a accurate recitation of the plea agreement.
Okay, so hold on. So, Mr. Malaro, is that a correct recitation of the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me get this. All right, so Mr. Montemeyer, you want to raise your right hand for me? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm sorry, the room you're in kind of has wonky sound, so can you repeat that again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Have you have heard the statement of your, well, I've read through the plea agreement and both the prosecutor's office and your attorney have agreed that was a correct recitation of the plea. So do you intend to plead guilty on file number 23-21632FC to count 1, child sexually abusive activity, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison, and count 5, criminal sexual conduct first degree, which can carry up to life in prison or any term of years. So on that file, is it your intention to plead guilty to those 2 counts? I'm sorry. Can you scoot up a little bit? I'm
Yes.
sorry. It's the room. It's not you. It is the room. Okay. And then on file number 24-21744FH, is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, child sexually abusive activity aggravated, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 25 years in prison? So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count?
Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you. So, and you understand the sentencing agreement is that you will serve a concurrent sentence on these files of 140 months to 300 months. And you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, are you on parole or probation or anything right now? Okay,
No.
good. All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Milaro as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes.
All right, so other than the agreement placed on the record, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Mr. Milaro, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. McCready, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And Mr. Montemeyer, is that correct as far as you're aware?
The only thing I was confused about was Milaro said that I might not have to do lamb. So,
You might not have to do what?
the lifetime monitoring. We talked about that yesterday, but I guess that changed.
Yeah, Mr. Montemayor, I explained to you I wasn't certain, but when I went back and looked, because the jail doesn't allow me to do it on my computer's blocked in the jail, it is subject to lifetime electronic monitoring. So it is.
Okay.
So you understand that? Do you still wish to enter the plea?
Yes.
If you're not a citizen of,
Didn't pick up that one.
okay, I hear it. That's okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Montemeyer. So our recording systems, can you scoot up a little bit? It's not your fault, and I apologize. I really do. Can you repeat your response to that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any question? And you understand fully the requirements for registration and lifetime monitoring under the Michigan Sex Offender Registration Act, right? You understand all of that?
Yeah, yes. A little vague on the other
Okay.
part right now.
Well, you know you have to register for life under the Michigan Sex Offender Registry, right?
Yeah.
And you understand that there'll be a tether. You'll be required to wear that for the rest of your life as well.
Okay.
So you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and again, you're willing to enter this plea, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No.
Okay. So on file number 23-21632FC, Mr. Montemeyer, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about January 5 of 2022 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense under count 1, child sexually abusive activity? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And under count 5, criminal sexual conduct first degree, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And then on file number 24-21744FH, how do you plead to the charge that on or about October 15 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of child sexually abusive activity aggravated under count 1, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. Mr. Montemeyer, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to plead guilty to these charges other than what was placed on the record? I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Milaro?
No, Judge.
Mr. McCready?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Milaro, can you repeat that again?
No, Your Honor. No,
So
Your
sorry.
Honor.
So sorry. All right. So, Mr. Montemeyer, there is a total plea in this case that includes a Killebrew agreement with the prosecutor and the defense for a sentence, but has your attorney promised you any other particular sentence or estimated what any other part of your sentence would be?
Just that I would probably get the minimum.
Well, there is no minimum in your case because there's a sentencing agreement. Your sentence is going to be 140 months to 300 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections. That's going to be your sentence. Whether you get out at 140 months or later is really up to how your behavior is in MDOC and MDOC. I have no control over that.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's start with file number 23-21632FC. Mr. Montemeyer, on January 5 of 2022, we're in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee.
Your Honor, if I may interject here, this is actually a continuing offense, so it's between the 5th of January and the 2020 to October 16th to 2023.
And that's file number 23-21632FC.
We did file an amended information on January 9th.
Well, I don't have that. So what are the dates again?
January 5, 2020 to October 16, 2023.
Okay, so during that time period, Mr. Montemeyer, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee? I'm sorry, Mr. Montemeyer, if you can sit up, please. Okay, so Mr. Malaro or Mr. McCready, you may need to help me out on that or on the factual basis for this. So Mr. Malaro, do you wish to inquire of your client?
Yes. Can the court hear me?
I can now, yes.
All right. So, Mr. Montemayor, on those dates in Adrian, city of Adrian, county of Lenawee, state of Michigan, is it true that you did prepare or attempted to prepare, produce, or make child sexually abusive material contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.145 C2A?
Yes.
And you understand what child sexually abusive material is, yes? Is that a yes?
Yes. Yeah.
And you understand that that's contrary to the laws of Michigan and an offense under those laws?
Yes.
Is the state and court satisfied?
Mr. McCready, are you satisfied?
On that count, yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on to count 5. Mr. Malaro, do you wish to inquire of your client for the factual basis? Well, I can actually on this one. So Mr. Montemeyer, during that time period in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, were you engaged in sexual penetration with an individual with the initials of the AS?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. McCready, this involves a delivery of a marijuana to a minor. Is that correct, Mr. McCready?
That's correct.
And Mr. Montemeyer, had you provided marijuana to that individual?
Yeah.
Okay, and was that individual under the age of 16?
Yeah.
So you would agree she was a minor?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. McCready?
Satisfied.
All right. All right, so on this file, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Malaro
I believe the court has.
and Mr. McCready?
Yes.
All right, so let's move on to file number 24-21744FH. So Mr. Montemeyer, is there amended? Is this, let me see here. All right, so on October 15 of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
All right, and at that time, Mr. Malaro, I don't really have the factual basis behind this. Do you want to voir dire your client?
Sure, certainly, Your Honor. Mr. Montemayor, I know date and time and the place that court just described. Did you also attempt to or arrange for, produce, make, copy child sexually abusive material involving a prepubescent child?
Yes.
And you knew this, you know what prepubescent is, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that you did that so in contrary to Michigan compiled laws 750.145C2B.
Yes.
And you knew what you were doing was contrary to the laws of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And it constituted a crime.
Yes.
Is the court and state satisfied?
Mr. McCready, are you satisfied?
Your Honor, if I may. Yep. Mr. Montemayor, you had child, is that correct?
Yes.
And the child in question was an infant, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, people are satisfied.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Malaro
I believe the court has.
and Mr. McCready?
Yes.
All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. Obviously, there is a Killebrew agreement that was made between the prosecutor's office and the defendant for sentencing. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I will set sentencing for March 7 at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Montemayor, you have the right to be present in person, or you can appear via Zoom. So how would you like to appear for sentencing?
Zoom's fine.
Okay, we'll do Zoom. Mr. Montemayor, as I said, someone will come over and meet with you, be truthful with them about your background, the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report, and I will provide a copy of that to your attorney. Your attorney will meet with you in advance of sentencing and review that with you, and we will see you back on that day. Thank you, Mr. Montemayor.
Okay.
All right. Hey, girl.